Well, President Trump can go back to collecting tariffs under an emergency powers law for now. This afternoon, an appeals court granted the president an emergency motion, and this comes after a 3-judge panel ruled yesterday tariffs must be approved by Congress. President Trump has said that he has the power to act because the country's trade deficits amount to a national emergency. All right, so let's take a closer look at how tariffs are affecting the economy. Joining us now is Dietrich von Biedenfeld with the University of Houston downtown. Good to see you again.
Good afternoon.
So when the stocks went up earlier today, was that something that was expected after the announcement?
100%. And again, there's a lot of talk about these terms such as recession, stagflation. All of these terms are interconnected. When we think about how stocks react, a lot of times these are investor confidence. That is, what is the certainty that we're reacting to that we want to invest in these businesses where we will see measurable returns on that investment? And so when we saw the International Trade Court say, no, these tariffs aren't going to be enforceable, immediately people said, okay, we're going to see certain rebates for certain businesses that have already paid said tariffs. We're going to see certain businesses offering some sort of concessions on any sort of price increases. And then there's a pause.
So now that appeals court has reinstated that, what can we expect the business world to do tomorrow?
Immediately, businesses are going to try to recoup that investment. And the challenge is, we know that profit margins aren't great. We know, particularly with small businesses, these challenges of tariffs have been a pronounced concern because they don't have the negotiating power, that aggregate sort of conciliatory power to ask for concessions from their suppliers in the way that maybe a big box retailer would, the Amazons, the Walmarts. So they don't have that. So what we're going to see is businesses saying, we're really not certain. And probably the challenge is going to be the stickiness of their increased prices or their accommodations for these tariffs, building them into their price points, because now they're even more uncertain about what is going to happen. So these businesses are going to say, we thought there was going to be some relief, there isn't, and with this continuous back and forth, we're just going to hold it. So even if there is another ruling that says we're going to relieve these tariffs, if there is any opportunity for appeal, businesses are going to say, we're going to maintain these increases in our margins to accommodate for that.
So you're talking about the back and forth. I mean, is that bad for the economy?
It's definitely a challenge. And again, business economists are always going to look for certainty and certain sorts of stability, uniformity of interpretation. We don't want to have to go between kilograms and imperial measurements, right?
Yeah.
These are certain things that we say we want to understand exactly what we're talking about. And at any point when businesses have to sort of create amorphous or uncertain calculations, that's going to create in general, a larger percentage of margin of error. And that means larger prices because they're going to have to say, I don't know if it's going to be 1% or 145%. I'm going to build it for the 145% so that I can keep my employees working, so I can keep my suppliers and subcontractors employed and otherwise under contract. So they're going to build that margin of certainty or safety in a way that is not favorable for consumers.
All right. Well, wish there was better news. But thank you for helping us keep up with everything.
Yes, breaking it all down gets confusing sometimes.
Yeah.
All right.